Freaking Right Hedgehog here, and today I'm going to do a top 10 video game mascots. Well, not somewhat mascots of consoles, but mascots or characters from companies. Well, yeah, basically that. Some rules. If you don't know who the characters are, I'll explain. But I think there's only like 2 or 3 that you might not know. I'm not sure, but anyway. Like this character. Anyway, another rule: if you don't like the character on the list, I'm sorry, but this is a character. Anyway, with all this said, let's get started. And before we actually do, I have one thing to say. Merry Christmas to the viewers and subscribers. Okay, let's get started. Number 10, Pac-Man. Now, what interesting things are about Pac-Man? Well, he influenced everyone in 1983 with the arcade game Pac-Man. Well, with his arcade game Pac-Man, but anyways. And he's had a lot of games since. The Pac-Man World games were great too. That's what got my attention in Pac-Man ever since I was a little kid. My first Pac-Man game was Pac-Man World 2. No duh there. But ever since that, the Pac-Man The Ghostly Adventure series came in, the Pac-Man series got terrible. But Pac-Man is still Pac-Man, and is still kind of great today with his arcade games. Even with the first 2 Pac-Man World games. I think Pac-Man World 3 was okay, but yeah. If you don't like Pac-Man The New Ghostly Adventures like me, I say play the original some arcade Pac-Man games. Or like play the first Pac-Man World or Pac-Man World 2. Because those games are really good. Hell, I'm not an arcade kind of player, but I think the arcade Pac-Man games are actually really cool. Even the first Pac-Man game. Hell, while I'm in school, I play Pac-Man. All I can hear around sometimes is Pac-Man, Pac-Man, Pac-Man. Anyways, yeah, let's move on to number 10. Before we do, Pac-Man. Yes, at number 9 is everyone's favorite plumber. I like Mario. Oh, to say the least. I grew up with Mario a lot more than Pac-Man, but I don't know. It's been a while since I've actually played a Mario game. I've mostly played like Pokemon games or Sonic games or any PlayStation game. But who knows? Maybe one day if I come back to this top 10 list, I might change it because a lot I've seen and heard about Super Mario Odyssey. This looks like one of the best. It looked like one of the best Mario games ever. Still, I haven't played that much Mario games. In fact, the last Mario game I played last time was Super Mario 3D World. And this was like last year. Anyway, it's not like I hate Mario. It's just that I think there's a lot more characters that I like, such as the next one. And moving on to number 8. Before we do, let's go. Number 8, Ratchet. Now I would put Clank on here, but I'd say he's more along the lines of kind of like a helper, like a psychic. But anyways, Ratchet, if you never heard of him, he's a Lombat. He's Lumbex from... Ah, crap, I forgot which planet he lived on. But anyways, he's funny yet cool at the same time. Even for his own series. For Ratchet and Clank series, Ratchet has shown that he's funny and also serious at the same time. Now, what else can I say about Ratchet? Well, I mean, sometimes he gets on my nerves. And just like sometimes. But that doesn't bother me. Anyway, he's actually one of the characters that I like, video game characters that I like, that actually has a weapon. And he's the mascot of Insomniac. If you haven't heard of them, oh, you missed out. You missed out, and you're still missing out. Like the first three the first three Spyro games and the Ratchet and Clank games. Anyway, let's move on to number 7. Before we do, in the most funniest Lumbex ever, Ratchet. Number 7, Sly Cooper. This is a wisecracking, calm, and somewhat serious as raccoon. Even though his last name is a slur. Seriously, Cooper. Look it up, and you'll probably see what it means in like Europe. That's why in like the Europe, like the United Kingdom part, or the PAL version of Sly Cooper has Sly Raccoon instead of Sly Cooper. Anyway, he's owned by Sucker Punch. Well, used to. And head on to Sanzaru, but now I'm not so sure where he is, which company owns him now. Anyway, Sly Cooper's now alone on his adventure. Company of Bentley and Murray. But honestly, Sly is the most famous one in the Cooper game. Besides, he's the mascot. It wouldn't be called Bentley or Murray. Anyways, let's move on to number 6. Before we do, Sly, you're the sneakiest raccoon ever. Number 6, Pikachu. Now, I know some of you are thinking, if he was at number 100 on your top 100 Pokemon, why is he number 6 on here? Well, let me explain. I think Pikachu is adorable, yes. And yes, I think it's way too overrated for a Pokemon unlike this. Still, I don't see that as a problem, and yes, I do prefer Raichu, and yes, I see Pikachu as way overrated for a Pokemon. Still, I think Pikachu is actually pretty cute, but not strong, and I can't see why he's the mascot of Pokemon. Because Pikachu is adorable, and plus the way it's adorable. No wonder they made it Ash's own Pokemon in the anime series. If you didn't know this, originally Ash's Pokemon was going to be a Clefairy, but that all changed and we got the cute electric mouse that we have now. Oh, Pikachu is too adorable for an electric type. Looking at it is, I don't know, but still I prefer Raichu and I still think it's overrated. Anyways, let's move on to number 5. Before we do, just look at that Pikachu. Just look at its big red cheeks. Hey man, Rayman. Are you supposed to be on this list?
Nope.
Number 5, Rayman. Now, I know some of you thinking like, oh, Rayman? I didn't know that you like Rayman. Let me explain. Ever since I was a kid, the first Rayman game I've ever played was Rayman Rush. I liked that. And then when I started to actually know what video games were, I played Rayman 3, and that made me love Rayman a lot. Rayman is the mascot of Ubisoft. My favorite Rayman games are obviously Rayman, Rayman 2 The Great Escape, Rayman 3, Rayman Origins, Rayman Legends, and also Rayman Rush. But ever since the Rabbids came, that ruined Rayman, but Rayman came back with Rayman Origins. And that was one of the greatest 2D Rayman games ever. Anyways, let's move on to number 4. But before we do, Rayman, you're still cool in my eyes. And hell, today I still play Rayman 2. Number 4, Ty
the Tasmanian Tiger.
Yeah. Ty, if you don't know him, he's the company of Chroma Studio, and if you don't know them, then EA Games. Anyway, he's obviously one of the extinct animals, which sounds terrible. Well, that his kind is extinct in real life, but still. Anyway, there's 4 Ty games, sadly, yes. But I haven't played the first one, but the second one I fucking love. The 3rd game I also haven't played, but I heard that was bad. The 4th game is somewhat like Rayman Origins. It's like a Rayman Origins game somewhat, but not slapstick humor with idiotic slapstick humor. But anyways, I recommend you play these Ty games because they're really cool. Anyways, let's move on to number 3. Before we do, you're still fucking cool to me, Ty. Number 3, Kirby. This is one of the most adorable video game mascots I've seen. Kirby's the mascot of HAL Laboratory. And surely a Kirby isn't the mascot of Nintendo still. Kirby is very adorable. I know he's supposed to be somewhat of an alien, but I'm still not sure what the hell Kirby actually is. And if there's like a species of other, well, yeah, there is, but still. Every single Kirby game I've seen so far is good. I haven't seen one bad Kirby game. Even non-adventure games like Kirby Zero. That's one of my favorites. Hell, I still play City Trial today. Maybe because it's addictive. Now, I know some of you are thinking, why am I mostly talking about this? I'm not sure. And I'm excited about Kirby Star Allies. I heard that, from the way I've seen it, it looks like it's going to be one of the greatest Kirby games. I would tell you my favorite Kirby games, but sadly we are in a hurry, so I'll give you a quick one. Kirby 64, The Crystal Shards, Kirby Zero Red, Kirby's Return to Dreamland, Kirby E Triple Deluxe, Kirby E Planet Robobot, and Kirby Superstar Ultra. Let's move on to number 2. Number 2, Knights. Now, Knights isn't the biggest mascot of Sonic Team, but I can see ES Knights still being a mascot for Sega somewhat, like second. Knights was made for this. It sadly only has 2 games. I'm hoping someday the people that made the first 2 come back to make a brilliant third Knights game. Now, yes, again, sadly, there's only 2. One for the Sega Saturn and one for the Wii. Nights into Dreams for Sega Saturn, and the other, Knight's Journey of Dreams for the Wii. Nights into Dreams was one of the biggest hits. It was considered one of the best Sega games ever. Even Shigeru Miyamoto himself was somewhat jealous of Sega when they made this. I'm guessing he was like, hey, why haven't I thought of that? Even in an interview, he stated, if there was any Sega thing I could have done Nights into Dreams. Even Steven Spielberg himself, before everyone hated him, he played the game himself. They even called it the Spielberg controls. I'm guessing Spielberg also had a fun time playing Nights into Dreams. I'm guessing this game is that famous. Knight's Journey of Dreams, though, it's not so famous, but it's still a good game. Knights, we're not sure if he's a he or she, so that's why Knights is genderless. Anyways, before we head to number 1, I've got one thing to say. I hope you get a third game, Knights. You definitely deserve it.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I roll.
Number 1, Sonic the Hedgehog. I know some of you are going to definitely say this. What the fuck is wrong with you? I'll explain later. But let me explain now. I like Sonic the Hedgehog. I've grown up with him through middle school, and he got me like attached to his series. That isn't a bad thing for me. Now, I know that Sonic has all the bad games, but like Sonic 06, Shadow the Hedgehog, Sonic and the Secret Rings, so on and so forth. But you know something? I forget about those games. I just forget that they exist, and that I just remember the good Sonic games. Even some that I like that people don't, like Sonic Heroes or Shadow the Hedgehog. Yeah, I somewhat like that game. And Sonic Forces, that has a mixed review, but hey, I had fun playing the game, and I still have fun. Sonic, though, there's one problem for me, and that's not a big deal. But my problem with Sonic, and it's just one problem, is his ego. Seriously, his ego is, yeah, but that doesn't bother me. Plus, Sonic has introduced some of my favorite characters throughout his 25 years. He's introduced Knuckles, Shadow, Metal Sonic, and a new character, Infinite. Thank you, Sonic. And plus, if we didn't have Sonic, we just probably might be still playing Mario over and over. Maybe. And plus, Sonic has inspired many the other companies. Like, even though those companies end up making a shit ton of shitty games, like Accolade's Bubsy, except maybe for Chrome Studio. Maybe they were inspired by an anthropomorphic animal like Sonic. He has a lot of friends. He stood up to the plumber himself, and he's even standing up to him in the Olympics. He's a fighter in Super Smash Bros. And he's got a lot of great friends. He has live shows. He's even getting a fucking movie. What isn't to say about Sonic the Hedgehog? I'm liking Rock Hedgehog. And Sonic the Hedgehog will always be my favorite Sonic character. That will always be my favorite video game character of all time. Go Run, Sonic will always be my #1 video game hero.